Hello folks, and welcome to a Tiny Games Lab tutorial. This time I'm going to teach you guys how to do the room transition effect, but instead of relying on radius, we're going to rely on time, and this is going to be the basis for every single transition tutorial I'm going to do from now on. Okay, so stay tuned and watch it, and you can use this basis for the next tutorials. So we're going to start with the sample project. You can see we have sprites, objects, and rooms. So I have a room with some objects and a button. And I have a different room with different objects and also a button. Okay, so let's see how it looks like running. You can see that whenever I click the button, it changes the room, but there is no effect of changing the room. So let's fix it. On each button, you have room go to. That's the code that we are using to switch rooms. And I want to switch that to a new code. Okay, so let's go in. Let's remove room go to. Let's create a new instance of a new object that we're going to create in a while. It's called instance create, okay? And let's create an X and Y position of object transition, okay? And let's give to this instance a target. That is the room we want to move to. So let's say room 1 for this object button 1. And let's go to the other object button from the other room. And let's do the same, but let's switch to room 0. Perfect. Let's create this new object. It's called object transition. Perfect. And everything is working fine. So let's go into the old transition object and let's add persistency and the depth of -999, so it's in front of everything. Let's go to the creation code. Okay, in the creation code, first thing we're going to do is going to create a enumerator called transition. Let's enumerate out and in, sorry. So this is just to know if we're going out or in the room. And let's add a variable called transition. It's going to be transition trans.out. Time equals 0 and max time equals 30. So that's going to be, let's say, half of the number of the steps that we need to reach the half of the transition. So perfect. And maximum distance, let's do a calculation. That's going to be a max between many point distance. So we're going to calculate our distance to the 0, 0 position of the screen, top left corner. And let's do this 4 more times. Let me just close this correctly. Perfect. So then we're going to add room width here. So top right position, room height here. So bottom left position of the screen and the bottom right position of the screen. So I'm checking the maximum distance of my object to all these positions. On the step event, we're going to start with a switch function. So switch transition, so we know where we are at. And let's say case trans.out, so we're going out of the room, break, and case trans.in, so we're going inside the new room. Okay, so when going out, the first thing we're going to check if our time is equal or greater than or equal to our maximum time. So greater than our maximum time. And let's add transition equals to trans.in, so we're changing this variable, and we're going to change our room to the target room. Okay, so whenever we reach half of the transition, we're going to change our room. And else time plus equals to 1. Perfect. Sorry, I want to copy this and paste this. Okay, so now on the transition, we're going to check if our time has reached 0 or is below 0. And when it reaches this, I want to destroy this instance that we just created. Okay, so I'm going to destroy self. If not, we're going to remove one from the time. So the time goes up and down as the steps go by. And on the draw event, that's where the magic happens. So if time is greater than 0, we're going to draw something. No, so we're going to set our radius equals to the maximum distance. Okay, and this we can do many ways. We can do times the time variable. For example, we can times time divided by maximum time, so there is no easing, it's just going to increase our radius. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a easing script here. So let's call this easy in out quad. Okay, so it's going to be easy in and out quadratic effect, which is going to take time and maximum time as variables. And I got this code from gizmo.com/easing, but you can find it anywhere on the internet. So let's set them variables. The first variable is going to be t, it's going to be argument 0, that's our current time. The second variable is going to be d, argument 1, that's our maximum time. The third variable is going to be variable b, which is 0, that would be our initial position. And the last one is c, it's going to be 1, that's our final position. So I want to go from 0 to 1 using easing. So t divided equals to d divided by 2. So if t is less than 1, else, perfect. If it's less than 1, I want to return c divided by 2 times t times 2 plus b, so that's a quadratic equation. If not, I want to remove 1 from t and I want to return minus c divided by 2 times t minus 2 minus 1 plus b, perfect. So this code should work for everything you need easing. So let's remove this and let's add some easing. So it's going to be ease in out quad, okay. I'm going to use time and maximum time, perfect. And now I have easing. So let me just correct this with easing now, no? So I want to calculate how many steps I want on my circle. So it's going to be 32 plus radius divided by 16 or div 16. I want to set my color to make color RGB, perfect, 211, 217, 90, okay, so that's a green color. And draw primitive begin, so let's start with a primitive begin, perfect. And PT triangle fan, okay, I'm drawing the primitive just so I can have more points, more vertex. And for I equals 0, I less than steps, I plus equals 1. So that's where I'm adding the vertex to this circle and have a nice round effect. And I'm gonna draw the vertexes. So let's draw vertex. Okay, this vertex is gonna be drawn on x plus length there on the x direction. And it's gonna be radius, the length, and the direction is gonna be 360 times I divided by steps, perfect. And I'm going to do the same for the y, so length there, y, okay, radius, and 360 times I divided by steps, and perfect, okay, so I drew all my vertexes, and what I'm going to do now is just add my primitive, perfect, and we should be good to go. Let's try and check it out. Okay, so you can see whenever I click, I have this expanding circle that uses easing in and out effects to expand, so it's not just a linear change of size. Also, because I'm using the primitive and not a draw circle function, I can increase the vertexes of my circle as it grows, and with this I have this more nice round effect. If I were to use a draw circle function, I would have a jagged outline of my circle. Okay, so if you like this transition tutorial, please subscribe to my channel and click on that bell button and you'll be notified when I publish new tutorials. So this was the basis tutorial, and with this we're going to do a lot of new transitions on the future, so stay tuned.